Hey everyone, today I want to speak to those homeowners that are thinking about doing renovations to their house. So I know we all go into those projects and we think, yes, this will be great. It will increase the value of my home, make it more attractive to potential buyers, and we have all those notions that go through our heads. But did you know that there are some home improvement projects and strategies that you could utilize that would negatively impact the value of your house? So I'm going to talk about those for you next. So I get it. We all love to do projects around our house. We want to do those projects that will help increase its value and make it feel like home for us. So I completely get all that. And please know that I'm not saying home projects are bad. So I'm not trying to deliver that message through this video. But what I am trying to tell you is just please be careful and be thoughtful about those projects that you are going to conduct around your house. I'd really encourage you to do a lot of research before you jump into a project. So whether that's, talk to a neighbor who's maybe done some projects around their house, talk to your realtor to see what their opinion is on a project before you jump into it. Because you just want to make sure that you're adding value to the house and not taking your home's value and decreasing it, right, as a result of these projects. So let's talk about some of the ways that you can potentially hurt your home's value through certain projects. So one is going to be what I call hyper personalization. So that's going to be number one for us. It's a long word. Hyper personalization. So what does that mean? So it means don't install unique carpet that no one else is going to like. Maybe you love it, but you got to think big picture. And hey, is the future homeowner, is this something that they can enjoy as well? Some people like these funky tiles, right? Funky tile colors. Those are a no-no as well. Some people might be considering putting up wallpaper in their house. And wallpaper's not bad, but just be careful on the look and style of wallpaper that you use. Once again, I know we want to make things our own and make it feel like our home, but if you're thinking about selling anytime soon, then just be mindful of unique styles and looks that you put into your house. Because I know a lot of people, they might love, let's say you love the Atlanta Braves like myself, or maybe you've got your favorite college football team or pro team, and you want to deck out, a room full of whatever regarding that team, right? Paintings on the wall and things like that. I'm talking, more permanent ideas. So don't do anything like that. Stay away from hyper personalization. That way you can make sure that the things and features in your house, they appeal to other people as well. They appeal more so toward the masses as opposed to just a particular small niche of people. Next, for number two, let's talk about those DIY projects. So this one is huge today, right? I mean, and we can all think Pinterest for this, right? So DIY projects. My wife, I love her to death, and a lot of men and women out there can probably relate to this. So your significant other sees this awesome Pinterest project online, and you look at it, and I've even done this too, but you look at it, the picture, and you're like, oh, that looks so awesome, that's great, that's so easy to do. And you glance at it and you might think, that might take me a couple hours to do. And then I've gotten into some of those projects, and I'm sure you have too, and instead of being 2 hours, it might take you 10 or 12 hours. So it becomes a much more complicated project than you thought it would be. But regarding these DIY projects, I know they're all fun, and I'll tell you, small, easy DIY projects, I say go for it, no big deal. But there are larger projects that you can get into, and with YouTube and all of the access that we have today to different resources online, people jump online and they do research for a couple hours, and sometimes we all think we're the expert, right? And we can do everything. So just be very careful with DIY projects. I know a lot of times, we want to do those to cut some corners, save some money, which is, understandable. But if you're getting ready to sell a house, be very careful, because if you do try to cut corners and it doesn't come out looking like a professional did the job for you, then buyers will notice that, and that could potentially hurt the value of your house. So when you're thinking about DIY, just be super careful and very mindful, and don't try to stretch yourself, because I know some of us, we've got skills and talents, but I like to call it going above my pay grade. Sometimes I'll look at a project and I'll say that I can't do that. That's above my pay grade. So make sure you don't stretch your ability when you're thinking about different DIY projects. Number 3, let's talk about storage space. Storage space is a biggie, right? I think we can all agree with that. So some of us can jump into some bigger renovation projects, and maybe you're adding a bedroom onto your house. So when you're building or renovating that bedroom, think about storage space, because sometimes people will say, hey, look, we can make this room a little bit bigger, and maybe we can have a bigger window over here on this side of the room, but then we'll make the closet a little bit smaller. So we're basically sacrificing storage space because, we wanted a bigger window, or we wanted, one wall bigger, or what have you. But my point is, storage space is huge for potential buyers. I've seen people walk through houses with me and they'll see a couple of small closets, whether it be in a bedroom or maybe it's in a hallway somewhere, and that's a deal breaker for them. Yes, people have walked away from houses because there's not enough storage. We all have stuff, right? I've got a wife and 3 kids, and we have a bunch of stuff, and we need storage. When we finished our basement last year, that was one of the keys for us. So my wife and I designed the whole layout of our finished basement, just the 2 of us, and we made sure we had plenty of storage. We put I'm down in my basement right now, and we put one storage area in this corner, and there's another large storage area in that corner of the basement, and we had a nice sized closet in the bedroom as well. So when you're doing renovation projects and you're thinking through size of rooms and things like that, please do not forget storage, because if you have buyers walking through your house and you have adequate storage, it is a huge plus. So don't skimp on closet space. The 4th item that I want to touch on is landscaping. So this one's a biggie, right? So what I mean by landscaping, think of elaborate or excessive landscaping. So that's how you can take something that should be a big positive, right? Landscaping at a house. If it's excessive though, or elaborate, it could turn into a negative. And what I mean by that, you've probably all driven by houses, and it's just there's just landscaping. It's overload, right? You look at the front of the house and you can barely see the front of the house. So I'm talking just super tall trees, shrubs, bushes, or whatever, and you can't even see the house. So when potential buyers see that, some people might drive by and look and say, hey, I don't have a green thumb. I can't maintain this. This property might not be for me. Or they might think, holy cow, I've got to hire somebody to maintain all of this because it's just overboard, and that's another expense that I have to account for in my budget each month. So maybe this property is not for me. So while landscaping is great, you want to have nice curb appeal for your home. So I'm not saying don't landscape at all, but please do landscape, but don't go overboard and don't make it too elaborate, because that might not appeal to everyone. So for all of you out there that are thinking about doing some type of renovation to your home, I hope these 4 tips help you as you prepare and plan for your renovation. Hyper-personalization, the DIY projects, storage space, and landscaping. Just keep all of that in mind as you get ready to put together the renovation for your property. Also, before we get out of here, please remember to like and subscribe my video. It helps with traction in the channel and exposure here in the YouTube world, so I appreciate all of your support. This particular video was obviously targeted towards people who might be selling their house one day. Now, for those of you that might be buying a house one day. Maybe you're in the market right now and trying to figure out how to navigate this market that is moving at such a high velocity. I've got a video also on my channel that talks about making a cash offer potentially on a house. So it doesn't mean, hey, I've got to have, $200-300 grand on hand to offer on a property, but it's a different strategy. It's a thinking outside of the box type of strategy that people need to really try to utilize today if you want to try to increase your chances to win your next property. So as a realtor here on the north side of Atlanta, I always try to help my clients think about what are other strategies that maybe everyone else is not utilizing, something a little different. We can't always do things the way they've always been done. The market always changes and things come up that maybe we hadn't seen in 15 or 20 years. I've seen some interesting things as of late. So you always have to evolve. You always have to have a mindset that's open to something new and different because, hey, maybe that can help you win next time.